morning. Hey, world. Good morning. Let me go live on Facebook so that those folks can see. Hi. Welcome to Wake the Fuck Up Wednesday. I am in Hawaii, and so I'm in my little booth. I know it's been a while. Hey, Shannon. Hey, girl. Hey. So I've been having so much fun. It feels awesome being back, especially as the darkness settles in Alaska. But y'all, I just want to dive right into Wake the Fuck Up Wednesday today because I just love this topic, which is all about not taking responsibility for other people's feelings and stop apologizing about it. Hey, Barbara. So I called it Stop Apologizing because it doesn't mean we shouldn't apologize. I just meant like we often apologize for the wrong thing, right? And so like my husband will say like, I'm so sorry I made you mad or something, right? And I'm like, no, that's not what it is. Like I own my feelings, but what would be nice is if you apologize for breaking the agreement that we made. Like, I'm sorry for coming back 3 hours later than I said I would. Like, that's what we should apologize for. But, you know, especially people who are socialized as women are kind of taught to protect other people's feelings, right? It's like, hey, we are supposed to keep other people from feeling bad and help them to feel good, right? We're like trained to do that. And so much of our day is spent like trying not to upset people, or if we do upset someone, how to set it right, how to like help them realize that we're actually not a bad person. And that's kind of what I wanted to dive into as the sort of like meat of this, because why do we apologize for other people's feelings, right? So I'm going to kind of like backpedal a little bit because this is kind of advanced concept. And so in Freedom School, we really deep dive into this shit. And you've heard me talk about how it's not other people's actions that cause us to feel a certain way. It's our thoughts, right? This is like the whole model I teach and everything. I can't like, I'm going to hold this. I feel like I am looking down. So I'm going to like move this so that I can see all better. Because I know I got some y'alls on the Zoom. There we go. Sorry, Instagram people. Okay. I feel a little bit better that way. So, you know, we know that other people don't cause our feelings. Maybe we feel that way in the moment, but then we start to reflect on, why do I feel like shit? It's actually not. I'm going to use an extreme example here because a lot of people feel like, okay, if someone cheats on you and you had an agreement to be monogamous, then like that's actually their actions that are causing your suffering. Right? We think if we have an agreement, if we have a boundary with someone and they break it, it's them breaking it that causes us to feel bad, right? And then we do a bunch of blaming and all of that. But when we kind of start doing the work, we realize, oh, wait, it's not actually what they did. It's my thoughts about it. Because do you all know these people? Like people have cheated on their partner and then their partner breaks up with them, or they cheat on their partner and then their partner's like, yeah, like what was my role in this happening? And then they like get closer, right? Like that happens. same kind of infidelity, right? But different thoughts about what happened. And to get like even more sort of one hand clapping in a forest on you, if it was what the person actually did that caused how you felt, you would have felt that way right after they did it. But that person, like let's say someone cheats on you, right? That person is the exact same person they were 30 seconds before you found out that they cheated on you. And you thought of them as a totally different person. And then you find out something and you're like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. Exactly. We have different thoughts about them. So it's not what they actually did, because they did it already. You just didn't know about it. Then you find out about it. And now we have different thoughts. You see, it's kind of fucking crazy. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that you go, oh, well, then I should just get over it. No. So boundaries and agreements are a separate thing. What we're talking about here is taking responsibility for other people's feelings. So we're starting with ourselves, recognizing, yeah, it is my thoughts about something, not the actual thing that happened. Like if a dog is like growling at you, right? And like, and is like chained up and it's trying to like bite you. And you're like, holy shit, scary dog, right? And then you look and you're like, oh, its foot is caught in a trap. Oh, poor thing. No wonder it's acting that way, right? Different thoughts. All of a sudden our thoughts change and the way we feel about the situation changes. All right. So there's a lot of background episodes on this that you can go check out in the notes, but let's go kind of like backwards on this then, or actually just like the mirror aspect of it. When we start taking responsibility for others people's feelings and we say, oh, I'm so sorry for making you mad. I'm so sorry for, look, it's not what you did. It's their thoughts about you. If you broke an agreement or you broke a boundary, then work on that, right? But we, just like other people don't cause our feelings, we don't cause other people's feelings. Yes, even if you royally fuck up. It's exactly the same, right? So some people go like, well, if that's true, then like I just have carte blanche to be an asshole. And that's actually not true, right? We actually can say, okay, I'm not responsible for your feelings and I can still take wise and compassionate action in the world, right? It's not like this is like, oh, go forth and make people feel shitty because it's not you, right? It's like, no, we live in integrity. We keep our agreements. We respect boundaries. And we don't take responsibility for other people's feelings. And a lot of people feel like taking responsibility for other people's feelings is like the kind thing to do. Let me set this. But it actually isn't very kind if you think about it, because when we think that we caused someone else's feelings by what we did, like, oh, I like was late and pissed them off, or I didn't say that right and it upset them. Like when we take responsibility, what we end up doing is the reason we feel bad about it is because we think, wow, usually we think, wow, they don't like us anymore, right? Like, wow, they think I'm a bad person. And then we believe that we're a bad person, because if we can't impact other people's feelings, then why do we continue in this kind of circle about it? And it's because we think we're a bad person and we want to change that. So we do all these neurotic things like, oh, let me text you and are you okay? Are you still mad? Is there anything I can do to help? And then we do all these awkward things to like make up for it. And really, what's the motivation? Because we're feeling bad about ourselves and we want them to think differently about us, right? So this ultimately isn't a kind and compassionate perspective, right? We actually are coming at it from a selfish angle because we're like, oh, I don't like the way you think of me right now. And so I'm going to take responsibility for how you feel and like try to change it, right? But we can't do that. Y'all have done the perfect stuff, right? And then people still don't appreciate it, or they still are pissed at you. It doesn't matter. You've had people apologize to you sincerely, and you're like, no, I'm still pissed. Why? Because even if they're sincerely apologizing, your thoughts about the situation haven't changed. So it's not the external thing, right? Similarly, it's not you that's causing the other person's feelings. So this is true even if you think you're being a bitch, right? You are always a neutral circumstance in someone else's world that they have thoughts and feelings about, right? Like I was dating this super talented artist and I would be like, he was really good. And I would be like, wow, that was amazing. And he'd be like, oh, thanks. And then another night I'd be like, that was so incredible. Oh my gosh, how you did? And then he'd be like, you're just saying that. I was sincere both times, right? The difference is his thoughts, right? Scenario one, feeling confident, feeling secure. The other scenario, feeling insecure. It's not me. Everything you do passes through someone else's filter. The filter of their past experiences, their limiting beliefs, what they were brought up to think about certain behaviors. So like one of my exes would be so embarrassed if I got a little tipsy and then like belted out karaoke, right? And then like got up and danced or something. My husband loves it. He's just like, I look out and he's just beaming and he's just like so happy that I'm happy. And same me, same actions. That person has different thoughts about them. The other person thought maybe like, who knows, like, oh, women shouldn't do that, or what are people going to think of me? Who knows, right? But different thoughts. And then my husband thinks like, oh, you're so fun, or look, she's so happy, I'm so happy. Like just different thoughts. So it's good to kind of practice all these different scenarios and be like, is there a situation where I am responsible for someone else's feelings? And like play that game, like go through it and really challenge yourself, right? And I feel like I love using extreme examples because it really causes us to question this, right? Like Martha Beck, you know, having been sexually abused by her father. It's like, he could even sit there and think, oh, I caused someone to feel shame, right? But Martha's take on it didn't lead to that. Like the way she feels about it now, like the way she feels about it is not that, because she chose to have different thoughts about it, just like other people can choose to have different thoughts about anything you do, right? So, you know, if we do something and we know it was a mistake or we know we fucked up, right? We can say, I'm sorry that I didn't keep our agreement for what time I'd be home. I'm sorry. Like that is what we are apologizing for, not I'm sorry I made you mad. And we're kind of taught this from a young age, right? We are taught in school to say like, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Or we even ask little kids like, oh, did they hurt your feelings? And kids are being taught like, and we were taught, yeah, like other people can make us feel like shit. But really, it is our thoughts about what is happening. And therefore, if you fuck up and you break a bunch of agreements or something, you're still not responsible for the other person's feelings. You're just responsible for your actions, right? So we're kind of socialized. We're told that we are responsible for other people's feelings. We're told that we need to take action to help the other person feel better. And so I'm not saying that we can't like be kind, but that is motivated by the wrong reason. Because we are motivating, we're being motivated by wanting to feel better about ourselves. So what do we do then, right? We fuck up, we hurt someone's feelings, right? We apologize for our action. And we can kind of like witness their suffering. We can bear witness to it. I'm gonna stand up here. We can bear witness to it and be compassionate about it. And we can say like, wow, I'm sorry you didn't like that. Or wow, like I can witness their suffering and hold that space for them with love and compassion, right? So that is how we can respond when someone is feeling hurt. Now, they may still believe that you hurt their feelings, but that doesn't mean it's true, right? Even if like the whole world says that, right? Like all of this work is so revolutionary because we are thinking differently than most people. We are trying to look at the world in a different way. Like, right, like the Buddhist teachings, I think are so rebellious in that way. Because it's like, let's take how everybody kind of thinks things are happening and question that, right? So when you go through your day today, I really want you to think about like, am I taking responsibility for other people's feelings? And it goes both ways, right? Like if someone feels really happy, we think, oh, that's because of me, because of what I did. No, because you've all done like the right thing and then someone still pissed at you or something, right? So as you go through your day today, try thinking about like, am I taking responsibility for someone else's feelings here, right? Whereas you can take responsibility for your actions and how you feel and how you show up, right? What you say, what you do, but we don't take responsibility for someone's thoughts about it. Okay. So if we see someone that's upset, it's not, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. It's like, I'm bearing witness to your suffering and I'm here for you. Right. And then we can remediate any kind of agreement we broke or something. Right. So go through your day today and just notice when you're like, I made that person feel good or I made that person feel bad, and just start to question that. That's where we can start, right? We can start by questioning it. Like, do I actually need to take responsibility here? Because in reality, I actually don't cause it. They're just having certain thoughts based on what I did, right? Because this will set you free and help you be more actually present and compassionate and loving when someone is suffering. Because then it's not about us and wanting to feel better about ourselves, or us getting neurotic because we're worried what someone else thinks about us, right? Then we can just say, I'm going to fix that. I fucked up. I did that. And I'm going to hold space for this suffering that I'm witnessing right now. Okay? Okay. Joinfreedomschool.com. Head over there, y'all. We are in October deep about letting go. So if you sign up now for November, you'll also get the October content. So head over to joinfreedomschool.com. I am going to go into the ocean now, and I'm going to be thinking of y'all. Some of you are in cold places. I'm sending you warm vibes, warm aloha vibes, okay? All right, my loves. Oh, you're welcome, Janice. Bye, y'all. Mwah. Ciao.